yo, shut the fuck up and slow down and let me do my shit. I don't care what all these motherfuckers tell me. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do because this is my vision. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Yellow Wind. We are here with the new teaser trailer for Supergirl. Yes, Supergirl as in Superman Supergirl, as in Superman's cousin, right? Superman's cousin. If you guys seen the recent Superman movie by James Gunn that came out, you actually get a chance to see a little cameo from Supergirl, who's played by Milly Alcock, who, you know, you recognize her if you've seen House of the Dragon. We also know that Jason Momoa is supposed to be in this movie as well. He plays the antagonist Lobo, and there's a lot of other stuff going on. Our first experience with her was, like I said, at the end of the last Superman movie. Our Superman character, he was running with his super dog Crypto, who's actually her dog, and she comes drunk and just like disoriented to go grab her dog back because I guess apparently Clark Kent was babysitting her dog. Now we're gonna go see what her story's about as Supergirl. She's, you know, still maturing and she's not as on point as Superman, but you know, she's usually on point when we actually see her, but with this take it's a little bit different. She's very immature, but I don't know how the trailer will be, so we're gonna take a look and see. I don't think James Gunn directed this one, but you know, of course he's now the head of DCU, so he's taking over and making sure that like he builds a world around this whole DC universe. So we're gonna take a look at this and see, and yeah.
You're at the most of it on your paper this time. Good job, buddy.
Still a drunk.
Alright, cars or else. You're right, it's clear. The 23 will be the best year again. No, not yet. Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Your Tom didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Hey.
Wait.
Do you this on your planet as house like you?
But no, it's a pretty small group of two.
Yeah. Cool. What's super on that?
Yo, Shreddy. He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
There you go. All right, that was the Supergirl trailer. So it definitely gives us a lot of insight about what we see here. It looks like it opens up where we can kind of see her beginnings of where she was at, you know, her finding Crypto, the dog, and then what happened with Krypton and seeing it destroyed. So, you know, I think that took a lot of emotional toll on her and a lot of trauma. It's almost like when she ended up on Earth, she kind of just gave up on life. And now it's like, you know, kind of her having to rebound, kind of realign herself and do good. But, you know, of course, her mindset is a little different than Clark Kent's. He sees the good in everybody and she sees the truth. And she'd rather trust the truth of what she sees in them to make her decisions rather than, you know, being able to let people go on because there is good in them. She's just like, nah, I'm not having that. We see a little snippet of Lobo in there, which is played by Jason Momoa, and he looks just like the motherfucker. It's crazy. Of course, it feels like a James Gunn movie. They use soundtracks from music that we've known in the past. And with James Gunn, he is a great person of picking music for his soundtracks. And I always commend him with that because it gives people nostalgia and it gives me nostalgia, and I love nostalgia. As you can see, the back of my room is like nostalgic. But you know, the direction that James Gunn is taking this, I know he's not the one that directed this movie, but the direction that he's pushing on with what he's doing here, it's starting to grow a lot better than what the previous series was. It's not rushed. He's taking his time. I felt like the last DCU series of films and people that they used previously, I felt like they rushed it so fast to try to get Justice League out and all this stuff, Batman versus Superman, just because Marvel started to come up and grow so much with the Avengers and all these other films of different characters. But the thing about Marvel is they took their time all the way from what, 2008, 2007, whenever the first Hulk or Iron Man came out. They took their time, and it was over 2 decades in the making just to get to that point. And once they got to that point, they kind of just like went down. But you know, they are coming out with Doomsday and a few other things, so we'll see what they do with it. But I think with James Gunn, he did direct a few films in the Marvel universe, so he kind of understands what they did and probably saw some things that they did wrong that he's gonna change in his aspect. The other thing with him is, you know, he is a filmmaker, so storytelling is first. We know what it takes to tell a story without having to rush and having the pressures of a big studio. And I think with him heading DC Studios, I think it gave him a opportunity to be able to tell him like, yo, shut the fuck up and slow down and let me do my shit. I don't care what all these motherfuckers tell me. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do because this is my vision. I'm glad me as a director and seeing him as a director to be able to make that firm like, no, whatever you guys keep trying to throw in, you fans, you whatever, I don't give a fuck what you guys want. I'm gonna make it the way I want to make it. It starts with telling stories of other characters and introducing characters as well. And the one thing that I can say that Marvel did very well on is they made characters that we never gave a fuck about when they were comic books or whatever, at least the general public, to making us really care and like these characters. Like honestly, like I'm not a huge comic book person, but I do love the comic book films because I am a filmmaker and I do love watching films no matter what the genre is. You know, I knew Ant-Man, but I didn't really care for Ant-Man. And honestly, Iron Man, I never gave a shit about Iron Man, to be honest with you. But the way that they developed the films and developed Robert Downey Jr.'s character as, you know, Tony Stark, it made me care and really enjoy him and really see him as like, damn, he's definitely a leader. Guardians of the Galaxy, I did not know they existed until the films came out. And of course, who directed those? James Gunn. He made such a world that was so pleasing and delightful and with the greatest soundtrack possible, to where it's like we loved Guardians of the Galaxy. Now there's rides based off of Guardians of the Galaxy at both Disney parks in Florida and in LA. As I've always said, character development is very important. You want us to love these characters. You want us to follow the journeys of these characters. And, you know, when they make cameos out of nowhere, that's why like the wow factors of seeing other characters coming in, you know, credit scene things where we see them coming back to the storyline or whatever, or jumping into other people's storylines. That's what makes the fandom excited and more intrigued into, you know, believing in the vision of either if it's Kevin Feige or James Gunn or, you know, whoever else heading the production studios. And with this, I see a lot of great potential with where DCU is going, and I hope they continue, and I hope they take their time and don't rush anything to a Justice League so fast. Develop those characters, make us care, and the fans will care too. But that's it. If you guys like this, what do you guys think? Like, subscribe, comment, do all that shit, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.